Alright, so today we're talking about the Canon M50 and whether or not it's still worth it in 2021. So, let's jump right into it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Vlogs. Today we're talking about the Canon M50. This is about a 3-year-old compact mirrorless camera from Canon. And even still in 2021, the easy answer of the question, is the Canon M50 still worth it in 2021, is yes, it is worth it. But the real question now is, why is the Canon M50 still worth it in 2021? If you've never heard of the Canon M50, I don't want to go over all the specs. I don't want to go over all the specs of this camera because this camera is like one of the most searched cameras on YouTube. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I don't want to go ham on the specs and everything. But if you don't know anything about the Canon M50, this is about as fast as I can go to get you up to speed. The Canon M50 is a compact mirrorless camera from Canon, released about 3 years ago. It has 1080p at 24, 30, and 60 frames per second. It has 4K at 24 frames per second, but it's cropped and it loses good autofocus. The Canon M50 has Canon's legendary dual pixel autofocus, but still holds up today. It's got a flip-out screen and it has one dial, but other than that, it's a pretty good camera. Okay, alright, now that we're done with that, basically, this is a compact mirrorless camera with a APS-C size sensor. And honestly, I just got this camera 30 minutes or an hour ago. Basically, I just took a few pictures and a few test videos, so I'm going to let you see that right now. So I'll see you in a little bit. All right. Okay, so what'd you think of that footage? I thought it was pretty good. The autofocus actually surprised me. I knew it was good, I knew it was going to be amazing, but it was almost even better than I expected. Literally, the autofocus is so quick. Just watch this, right? Alright, now I'm recording, so watch. This is the Canon M50. Here's the autofocus. Look at this, ready? It's not even okay, there, it got out of focus, but I was it's tracking me like crazy. So that is tracking my face very well. It is locked onto my face, and honestly, it's pretty crazy. So the autofocus is very good in this camera. I have no complaints about the autofocus. The autofocus is insane, but that you probably already knew. But that's one of the main reasons why this camera is why it's still worth it in 2021. Not is it still worth it in 2020, why it is, because it's such a reliable autofocus that for anyone who's getting into video, that kind of stuff, it really is so easy to work with. I mean, the autofocus is incredible, and I think the other reasons is it just has all the features that people want in a camera for a fairly reasonable price. I mean, it comes in at about $500 or so, depending on where you get it, and it comes with pretty much all the features you'd want. It's got really good autofocus, it has a flip-out screen, it's got interchangeable lenses, it's not very expensive, it's really easy to use, it has all the things that you'd want in a camera. So yeah, let's talk about the first thing, which is ergonomics. Right after picking this up, I realized it's actually heavier than I anticipated. I mean, I knew it was going to be light, and it is light compared to a DSLR. This is crazy light. I barely feel it, but still got a good weight. It doesn't feel like a cheap camera. You're not going to feel like you just wasted all your money after buying this. So using this with the kit lens, it feels pretty solid. The grip is pretty small, actually, compared to the camera I did a review on the other day, which was the Panasonic Lumix G7, which has a much fatter grip. this is kind of small, but honestly, I feel fine using it. I feel comfortable holding onto it because it has rubber texture all along the side with the grip. It allows for a pretty solid grip, and also it's got a little bump on the back that naturally your thumb just rests in, and then your pointer finger just naturally rests right on the shutter button. So overall, the ergonomics, I'd say if I was comparing it to something like a DSLR or something, and the DSLR was 10 out of 10, then this would probably be like 7 out of 10. But still really good. I really like it. Maybe even 8 out of 10. It's a solid camera. I like it. The next segment I want to talk about is ease of use, and honestly, that's the thing that Canon cameras are usually known for. This camera comes stock with an easy mode on. So let me just show that to you real quick. Basically, you'd go into your menu, then you go into like the 4th page, and then you click menu display, and then you can go to guided, and it's super easy to use. You click on that, and it just basically does everything for you. The whole like layout of everything is super simple. Everything makes sense. If you're just getting started with cameras, then that's really easy, and the autofocus just works right for you. The colors look good right out of the box. So I have no complaints when it comes to ease of use. I think Canon cameras are probably the easiest to use out of every camera. I think that's what a lot of people say. People say that's easier than Sony's menu, easier than Panasonic, all that kind of stuff. I found Panasonic was pretty easy, but honestly, if you know how to navigate menus and you know generally what they mean, then basically most cameras will be fine. But, don't really know anything about cameras, it's super easy to use. And I think that's one of the big factors why people get this, is because it's in that like $500 price range, and it has the features that everyone wants, and it's easy. So the next thing I want to talk about is photos. How do the photos look? How does everything look? So it's got a 24 megapixel sensor, and honestly, if you're taking them in daylight or just about anywhere, it looks good. They look solid. They're really good. They're crispy. They're almost always in focus. Everything about it looks really good. I have no complaints about photos. I'll throw up some photos on the screen right now. And yeah, also, since you have a 24 megapixel sensor, you can crop in a little bit if you need to reframe your shot a little bit, and it still looks good, so no complaints there either. So yeah, photos are solid, and the colors, just right out of box camera colors, they look amazing. I put it on standard and didn't change anything, and it looked amazing. It looked beautiful, looked really solid. No complaints about photos. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is videos. I think this is pretty much, this is the standout feature of this camera. That's usually why people are buying this camera. I don't know, maybe you're buying it for photos, and you for sure can use it for photos. And I bought it for both, and I can tell you right now, the video image coming out of this is outstanding for the size and the price of this camera. After using the Panasonic G7 and this camera right now that I'm using, after using it, just everything looked so crispy, and so it just looks good with no work put into it, I don't have to color grade, I don't have to, cut out points where I'm out of focus. I don't have to cut out anything because it looks good. The only thing is low light is, it's better than your normal point shoot because it does have an APS-C size sensor, but it's still, it's not amazing. I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it definitely doesn't have the best with the kit lens. But if you use like an adapter or something and then throw on like a nifty 50, like 50mm f1.8, it looks great in low light, so no complaints there. Just stay out of super dark conditions with the kit lens. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is my use with it, which is still very minimal. As I said, I got it about an hour ago, so I really haven't had that much time to play with it. But so far, it feels solid. Everything about it I feel like from the image to the price to the way the camera performs with very minimal use is amazing. I have nothing bad to say about this camera, really. I'm gonna update you in a little bit after playing around with this camera more and tell you what I think. But for now, it's amazing, and it's definitely still worth it in 2021. I'm gonna make another video about this camera and some filming techniques and that kind of stuff after I've used it for a while. But for now, I wanted to just show you my experience with the camera so far and what I think. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I don't know if this was that long of a video compared to the other one, but that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it and you're planning on picking up this camera, make sure to leave a comment down below and make sure to leave a like on today's video if you want to see more videos on the Canon M50. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Purple, blue, orange. That's not bad. Green, nah. Kind of feeling the purple. Alright. So, there you have it. Not sure if I'm liking the purple anymore. Nah, I'll just leave it.